Is South Africa ready for Brics currency? So today is going to be my topic or my focus since I'm from South Africa. So by the establishment of this Brics currency, what could it mean for South Africa and the global trade? We need to actually put the focus to that because we really need to understand what is currently happening. So if we see Brics countries, which is made up of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, they actually have stepped up their efforts to launch a common currency called, their own currency in the formation of Brics in attempt to ditch the US dollar and push back against Americans' dominance. So we've seen that in the past years, dollar actually have been in power for so many years. It has actually been the most influential currency, and in volatile times in recent history, such as the global financial crisis of 2008, the COVID-19 pandemic, and now a war in Europe as well, have amplified the calls, from some of the end to disrupt this US dollar as the world reserve currency. So a position it has held since, after the World War II, if you remember well. In such volatility, a lot of people tend to dollar as a safe haven or as a trusted store of value, or, as a seek for stability, and which in trend actually gave, a lot of power and influence to dollar at that time. So that's why, President from Brazil actually calls BRICS nations to come up with an alternative to the US dollar, de-dollarisation, for, to stop using US dollar for their foreign trade. So I don't know what you think, guys, but it seems to me that these BRICS countries actually have came up with a framework for providing, protection against global liquidity pressures. So obviously this includes currency issues where members' national currencies are being, affected by the global financial pressures, right? So, but what would the establishment of BRICS currencies mean for South Africa, right? Because if you remember, with South Africa, whether the world is ready for such currency, we need to ask ourselves whether we're ready for that. Are we ready to actually trade with that currency? And the policy consideration as well, and disruptions, to global trade, are we ready for that? So that is the question for today.